How often do you say, "I'm tired"? Probably dozens of times a week, maybe even multiple times a day. We live in a fast-paced world, and feeling tired seems normal, almost a badge of honor. But what if that persistent exhaustion, that bone-deep weariness that sleep doesn't fix, isn't just tiredness? What if it's a silent alarm, a desperate signal from your body that something is fundamentally wrong, that systems might be starting to shut down? Statistics and medical professionals suggest that an overwhelming majority, perhaps as high as 99% of people, dismiss this crucial warning sign, attributing it to stress, lack of sleep, or just aging. They push through, relying on caffeine and willpower, completely unaware that they might be ignoring the first whisper of a serious underlying health condition. Today, we're focusing on this dangerously overlooked symptom, chronic fatigue, and why ignoring it could have devastating consequences. Stay tuned, because understanding this could literally save your life. It's crucial to understand that chronic fatigue is vastly different from the normal tiredness you feel after a long day or a poor night's sleep. Normal tiredness is usually temporary and resolves with adequate rest. Chronic fatigue, however, is a persistent, profound exhaustion that lasts for 6 months or more. It's not simply feeling sleepy, it's an overwhelming lack of energy that isn't significantly improved by rest or sleep. It often interferes with daily activities, work, school, social life. People with chronic fatigue might describe it as feeling like they have the flu constantly, or like their internal battery is permanently drained. It can be accompanied by other symptoms like muscle pain, difficulty concentrating, brain fog, headaches, and sore throat. If you find yourself constantly drained, unable to function normally despite sleeping, it's time to stop dismissing it as just being tired. One of the most common culprits behind unexplained chronic fatigue is an underactive thyroid, a condition called hypothyroidism. Your thyroid gland, located in your neck, produces hormones that regulate your metabolism, how your body uses energy. When your thyroid doesn't produce enough hormones, your entire metabolism slows down. Imagine your body's engine running on low power. This directly translates to persistent fatigue, sluggishness, and a lack of energy. Other accompanying signs might include unexplained weight gain, feeling cold all the time, constipation, dry skin, hair loss, and even depression. Because these symptoms can develop gradually, many people, especially women who are more prone to thyroid issues, might dismiss the fatigue as a normal part of aging or stress, unaware that their thyroid is struggling. A simple blood test can check your thyroid function, making this a crucial possibility to investigate if you have persistent fatigue. Another major cause of chronic fatigue, often overlooked, is anemia, particularly iron deficiency anemia. Iron is essential for producing hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells responsible for carrying oxygen from your lungs to the rest of your body, including your muscles and brain. When you don't have enough iron, your body can't make enough healthy red blood cells, leading to reduced oxygen supply. Think of it like trying to run a marathon with only half the oxygen you need. The result? Profound fatigue, weakness, pale skin, shortness of breath, even with minimal exertion, dizziness, and cold hands and feet. Women of childbearing age are particularly susceptible due to menstrual blood loss, as are vegetarians or vegans if they don't carefully manage their iron intake. Again, fatigue is often the primary, and sometimes only, symptom initially, making it easy to ignore until the deficiency becomes severe. A blood test can easily detect anemia. You might think you're sleeping for 8 hours, but are you actually getting restorative sleep? Sleep apnea is a common yet underdiagnosed condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. These pauses can last for seconds to minutes and may occur many times an hour. While the person might not fully wake up or remember these episodes, the brain registers the lack of oxygen and disrupts the sleep cycle, preventing deep, restorative sleep. The most telling sign during the day is excessive daytime sleepiness and chronic fatigue, even after a full night in bed. Other signs include loud snoring, observed pauses in breathing during sleep, often noticed by a partner, waking up abruptly with shortness of breath, morning headaches, and difficulty concentrating. Ignoring sleep apnea doesn't just mean feeling tired. It increases the risk of high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, and diabetes. If you're constantly exhausted despite sleeping, consider if sleep apnea could be the hidden culprit. The mind-body connection is incredibly powerful, and mental health conditions like depression often manifest physically, with fatigue being one of the most common symptoms. Depression isn't just feeling sad. It's a complex mood disorder that can cause persistent feelings of hopelessness, loss of interest, and significant changes in energy levels. The fatigue associated with depression can be debilitating, making even simple tasks feel overwhelming. It's often accompanied by changes in sleep patterns, sleeping too much or too little, appetite changes, difficulty concentrating, and feelings of worthlessness. It's crucial to recognize that this fatigue is not a sign of weakness or laziness, but a genuine physiological symptom of the illness. Dismissing this fatigue or telling someone to snap out of it ignores the underlying biological changes occurring in the brain. Seeking help for mental health is just as important as addressing physical ailments. While we've focused on some common causes, persistent, unexplained fatigue can also be a silent sign of other serious conditions. It can be an early symptom of heart disease, as the heart struggles to pump blood efficiently. Diabetes, both diagnosed and undiagnosed, can cause fatigue due to fluctuations in blood sugar levels. Various autoimmune disorders, like rheumatoid arthritis or lupus, where the body attacks its own tissues, often present with profound fatigue. And of course, there's chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS-ME itself, a complex, disabling illness where severe fatigue is the hallmark symptom, often triggered by an infection. The key takeaway here is not to self-diagnose based on fatigue alone, but to recognize that persistent, debilitating fatigue that interferes with your life is not normal and warrants a thorough investigation by a medical professional to rule out or identify potentially serious underlying causes. That constant feeling of being drained, that overwhelming fatigue you keep pushing through. It's time to stop ignoring it. As we've seen, while sometimes it might just be temporary tiredness, persistent chronic fatigue can be your body's way of screaming for help, signaling potential issues with your thyroid, iron levels, sleep quality, mental health, heart, or immune system. Dismissing it as normal or just part of life is a dangerous gamble you can't afford to lose. Your body sends signals for a reason. Listen to them. If you've been experiencing unexplained, persistent fatigue for weeks or months, please make an appointment with your doctor. Discuss your symptoms honestly and openly. It could be nothing serious, but it could also be the key to catching a problem early and preventing your body from truly shutting down. Don't be part of the 99% who ignore the signs. Take charge of your health today. If this video resonated with you or someone you know, hit the like button, share it widely, and subscribe for more crucial health awareness content. Have you experienced chronic fatigue? Share your story without medical details in the comments below.